Before we dive into this episode, we wanted to take the opportunity to say a heartfelt thank you for being here. Whether you've been with us from the very beginning when we started this podcast in 2019 or you're new, welcome.
We hope you enjoy what you hear, and if you do, please download it, share it with friends, and leave a review. It really helps us get better guests and share the midlife love.
Welcome back to the Midlife Mentors and the first episode of 2026. This year, James and I have decided to look ahead at the things we'd like to achieve a little differently. We didn't want to pile pressure on ourselves. We didn't want January to turn into another month of guilt, comparison, or I should be doing more.
So in this episode, we're sharing the simple way we've been approaching our goals this year, with 3 things we advise not to do and 3 things that we're focusing on instead. So together, with us, you can move forward without the shame and the stress. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to 2026 with the Midlife Mentors. I'm James.
And I'm Claire. It is 2026. First podcast of 2026.
First pod of the year, and it's been a couple of weeks or longer, hasn't it?
A couple of weeks. We had a couple of weeks break. We have been doing this 6 years, pretty much every week, in, out, in, out.
Shake it all about.
Take it and shake it all about. So we thought we'd give ourselves a bit of time off. Be kind to ourselves. But we're back, raring to go. 2026 is already looking good and fabulous.
It's looking like a spicy year, Claire.
Spicy
in
year.
geopolitical terms.
I know, it's crazy. Everything that's already happened this year. What are we on? The 9th of January we're recording this, and there's already so much stuff going on.
Although some really good news we have had that Tesco's is bringing back their value range.
What? I have no idea.
I used to love when I was a student, the old tins, the blue and white striped tins of beans.
Guys,
were like 8p or something.
This is what I have to put up with. I mean, like, it's completely random. Like, what a random...
It is random.
What a random thing to say at the beginning of our podcast.
We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk
James.
about goals and how to take a slightly different approach to them. We're going to talk specifically about 3 things not to do and 3 things to do. But before we get into that, Claire, we have had a bit of a break. What have you been up to here on this beautiful island of Ibiza?
Well, not setting massive goals. Because even as you said that and you said, oh, this is about goals, I was like, I felt my little soul go, oh. Because actually everyone's talking about goals in January and setting yourself up for a great year. And actually, these are all good things, but we're not going to tell you all these big, lofty things to do with your 2026 when it comes to goals. We really do want to tell you from our own experience how we've entered 2026, and it's very different to how we've entered any other year together. We haven't been spending hours poring over what goals to do. We've gone into this very easily. So this is the first year I would say we've gone into it very easily, very peacefully, with a few goals. I don't even like to call them goals, actually. Just things that I would like to happen in 2026. So we're going to talk you through that. But we've had a great Christmas.
Yeah, it's been a very relaxed
New
Christmas
year.
over here. We caught up with some friends on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
had a very
nice.
relaxed Christmas day. The weather wasn't great, so
no.
we just stayed in and made a beef Wellington.
Ate a lot of food.
We didn't go out New Year's Eve. We never do, but we went for a lovely paella on New Year's Day.
Was that boring? We were in bed. I can't bring myself to tell you what time we were in bed on New Year's Eve, but it was early, a good few hours before the fireworks went off to welcome in the new year. That's all I'm saying. Honestly, it's embarrassing. But yes, we've had a really, really lovely, relaxing time. The sun is shining now here in Ibiza. It's not been great weather, but we're very blessed with blue skies. We're right by the beach, going for nice cold sea swims and all that kind of stuff. But without further ado, let's dive in to just some thoughts we had that we wanted to share with you around do's and don'ts really for going into January, because it can be a funny old time. We can feel almost like shamed into making these big lofty goals. We can compare ourselves or look back over the past year and go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've started another new year and I'm here. And we just don't want you to do that to yourself. It's just not a very nice way to start January, is it? Kind of feeling all uptight about the year ahead. We want you to feel excited about it and feel a possibility and opportunity, not looking at it with dread. And that's how we've kind of gone into this year, and it feels really good to us.
It does. So I think let's talk about the don'ts. What shouldn't you do? Well, this is something that I see people doing all the time, is that they get to the new year, they're like, right, almost a sense of panic, like, what's my goal going to be? And they go for that thing that's kind of a wish, a dream, and they're like, oh, there's my goal. That's what I'm going for. But they're missing a really important part. What they're failing to do is look at the year just gone by. What what energized you? What drained you? And have you got the balance right there? You know, we've got to make sure we've got the right foundations for the goal we're going to go for. And so rarely people actually look back. Listen, past performance is the best indicator of future performance. So what works for you last year? What made you feel alive? Gave you a sense of purpose? What wasn't working for you? How do you do less of what wasn't working, more of what was working, and start to navigate your way towards that feeling of having more fulfillment and more joy and more purpose in your life? And it's such a crucial part, I think, because we blindly otherwise just bluster into these goals without really assessing, oh, is the foundation there for me? Is chasing this goal actually going to make me happy? Is it aligned with who I am, my values, all the rest of it? So don't fail to look at what was working and what was not working for you last year.
Yeah, and like that, think about if it's realistic, you know, and I suppose that takes us on to the other thing that you don't want to do, which is to set a goal that's too far ahead. Listen, I'm all for those big kind of top of the mountain goals. It is good to have those, but this is my personal opinion. They just put too much pressure on me, and it takes me away from the present moment and the enjoyment of life. If I'm constantly looking at the top of that mountain, thinking, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet, that's what I want, that's what I want, I just feel a lot of shame. I feel a lot of guilt. I feel like I'm failing. And then that just puts the brakes on everything. So it just brings all of that stuff up for me. So, you know, this year, I've absolutely looked at what I would like to achieve. I haven't really I've not put loads and loads of pressure on myself. I'm happy anyway. I'm peaceful anyway. I feel successful anyway. But what we're doing, and what both of us have done, have looked at January. You know, like this kind of goes on to the next one, but don't set that goal too far ahead, because you're gonna look at it and just think it just feels too unrealistic. It feels too far away. It just feels like too much of a jump. So we are going to tell you what to do in a minute around what would be the ideal time frame to put in. But just please don't kind of think by the end of the year you're going to be this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Because you'll just sit there all the time in January, February, March going, oh my goodness, it still feels too far away. That just feels too lofty.
Yeah, exactly that. The last and final don't set a goal that isn't yours.
Yeah.
Or isn't important to you. Again, I see this all the time. We get influenced by culture, society, partners, family, our work. We're like, what's the goal that I should be going after? No, like, what's going to really light you up? A big lesson for me in the last year, I think, has just been doing more of what I enjoy without putting any weight of expectation on the outcome. Just doing it for the pleasure of doing it. And if something comes from it, great. But if something doesn't, also great. And this doesn't mean giving up on your ambitions or your goals. It just means you're being more aligned.
Yeah, and actually, this is kind of a number 4, I'm sorry, but it does lead on to make me think about this, what you just said, this weight of expectation. There is a fine line that we're always trying to balance between setting our sights on something so that we feel like, because we as humans we need that kind of goal to move us forward, otherwise we become stagnant, and that in itself is going to make us anxious and depressed and just not enjoying our life. So we do need goals, we do need things to focus on, but what we tend to do is hold on to them really, really tightly, and that weight of expectation just makes us strangle the life out of us and not be present. I suppose it's back in line with what I said earlier on. It's okay, this is what I would love to happen this year, but my happiness, my peace, my being present isn't going to rely on me getting that thing. It is this whole thing about happiness and peace being an inside job. So yes, set your sights on these things, but don't make it the ultimate focus of your happiness.
Yeah. I'm going to give you illustrate that actually. So a few years ago when we were running the Midlife Reset, the group coaching program, we had coaches for that. We were like sitting on calls every week, obviously sitting on calls with our clients, and we would set target after target after target. So it's like, this is the month's target for, revenue, number of clients, feedback, and, assessing, measuring. Oh, okay, that was a good month. We got it. Oh, we're just a bit short. Right. Let's drive even harder. On paper, success, but actually we were really worn down by the whole process. And stepping back from it, I can see we just kind of went down this narrow focus, and it wasn't really lighting us up. Yes, working with the clients was something that gave us real sense of satisfaction, but that whole other thing around it of social media and campaigns and workshops and all that stuff, we were just chasing all the time. And it wasn't what we wanted to do ultimately, which is why we stepped back from it, and we had to trust, I guess, that something would replace it. And it is, and it has.
So grateful.
But sometimes we have to take that scary step.
Yeah, and I think for us, it was because we were focusing on something. This is point 3 that you've just made, a goal that isn't yours or isn't important to you, right? So we made, I suppose, growth, the business, financial success, the amount of clients we were having, those things, we made those things important. But actually, looking back now, they're not aligned with either of our souls. Actually, like, money is important, of course it's important to us, but we made that such a focus. But actually, for James and I, it's about impact. It's about feeling like we're making a difference in the world, feeling that kind of alignment between our soul and our gifts, and not just focusing on the metrics. That just didn't work for us, because those goals were not ours, and they were not as important to us as we were making them out to be. Yeah. Really important.
Really important.
So let's go on to the things that you should. I don't want to use that word. The do-dos in January. So one of the first things I would say is, do acknowledge how far you have come. And again, make sure that you understand what is important to you. So if you're looking over the past year and going, okay, well, I didn't get more status, more money, that car, that house, and are those things even important to you? Are they lighting you up? Is that a goal that's yours? Or actually, acknowledge your successes. How have you grown as a person? Have you spent more time with people that you love? Do you experience more peace? Are you more present? Are you off social media more? Are you moving your body? Are you feeling healthier? Are you making those small tweaks to your nutrition? What has worked that is important to you? And these might not be the successes that everyone else can see. They might not be the big lofty stuff, but they could be those internal things. You may be reacting to things differently than you used to. It might be that you're less triggered by certain people, that you're reacting to stress differently. These are the really, honestly, for me, 2025 was all about those internal things that no one else could see, but are bigger than anything I've ever experienced in my life. 2025 was the best year for my internal healing, but no one else can see that stuff. So don't judge based on what can be seen from the outside, but how you feel on the inside. So do look at your successes and acknowledge them and be grateful for them.
And our second do this is related to the second don't actually, which was, don't set a goal too far ahead. It's focus on Q1 because that's kind of a time horizon that we can get our heads around. Our minds can comprehend it. Okay, well, that's the end of March. I get that. Okay, what can I achieve by then? Listen, if you have got that really big goal that it's not possible to achieve in 3 months, which lots of us have those, but where would you have got to by the end of Q1? And if you haven't got that big goal, that's going to take a long time. Just set goals by quarter by quarter. It's a lot more manageable. It's a lot easier on your subconscious, on your psychological process. And I'd say, also don't try and do too much. So maybe just pick 3 areas of your life that you want to have a major achievement in. You might choose health. You might choose career. You might choose family. You might choose personal development. You might choose relationships. But don't do more than 3. Go, okay, what's my one achievable goal for that area, and what's my marker for it for success in Q1?
That's what we've done.
Yeah.
That's what we've done. We've literally taken 3 areas of our life, and we've done this for January and for the quarter, actually. But like for January, I've taken 3 areas and 1 goal each. And so that feels really manageable. And I'm actually feeling really, really good about it because I've not overwhelmed myself. It feels really good. Really good. We're both helping out each other with the health one as well, aren't we? Keeping on track with that. It does help to have accountability, by the way, as well. And that takes us on to point 3, really, is don't be fooled by your feelings. So our feelings are temporary, and they could be swayed and affected by so many different things, from hormones, so the physical, to someone at work, to someone cutting you up on the road, that our feelings are temporary and they change. So don't think, I feel this way today, I won't do X, Y, and Z, because they're not a basis for you to take action. Once we take action anyway, a lot of the time the feeling follows. So I always have to remind myself of this. There are many, many times where I feel like I can't be bothered to do the thing that I know I need to do to get myself to the thing I want. Loads of times. I've had it today. I had it yesterday where I felt a certain way and I was like, but I know that once I start taking a tiny, tiny action towards the goal, my feelings will then come in line.
Yeah.
They will follow. So sometimes we have to act in faith, knowing that by taking a certain action, it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be huge, but doing something. Don't stay inert. Don't fool yourself that you can do this tomorrow. You can't. Push by the feeling. Push through the feeling that's telling you don't do this. Oh, it'll be okay if I don't do it until tomorrow. No. Do it anyway by faith, and the feeling often will follow, and it will change how you feel about it.
Yeah, I was having this conversation actually just the other day with someone, and they're talking about wanting to get back out on their road bike after a long layoff, and they said, "Oh, I guess I just maybe just don't believe that I can do it anymore. I'm waiting for the belief to come." I said, "If you're waiting for the belief to come, you'll be waiting a long time.
Whole life."
Belief follows action. I said, just get the bike and get out there and go for a ride. And then the more you ride, the more your belief in your ability to ride will come along with it. And this is a mistake I see people making all the time. It's like, oh, I'm going to wait for the right moment. I'm going to wait for the inspiration. I'm going to wait till I feel right. Well, there's a alignment of the stars or whatever. Listen, motivation is fleeting. It is discipline that keeps you. We've said this many, many times. Discipline is a superpower. So, but on the days also, this is kind of a 5th point, right? Be flexible, because there's another I see people going, right, Monday to Friday, I'm doing this thing on my goal, and then something comes along that means they simply cannot do it, and then the whole thing goes, oh well, I've blown it, because that's how our mind
Especially
works.
with health.
Especially
with health.
So I know in the UK at the moment with all the snow and the bad weather, people said, oh, I'm going to get outside and exercise like 3 times a week, and it's blown out the water, of course. But rather than just going, well, that's over, what's a small action you could take anyway, and stay flexible in your approach? If life gets in the way, just be compassionate with yourself. Okay, life got in the way on that occasion. I'm not actually making an excuse for myself here. I take responsibility. What can I do as a next step?
And I'm still learning this. I'm absolutely still learning this. There's something that is on my goal list for January that I am still struggling with. James knows exactly what I'm talking about here. People close to me, really close to me, know what I'm struggling with here. And sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I follow my feelings. I'm like, oh my goodness. And sometimes I'm not. But I have to say, I am a lot more compassionate. I'm not shaming myself. I know what's going on. And I'm being compassionate with myself, but I'm taking certain actions that I know are going to help me towards what?
Yes, you are. You're cute.
Yes, James is looking at me. You can't see this because you're probably listening on audio on a podcast, not necessarily on the videos that we put out. But yeah, James knows the thing I'm struggling with, and I'm just trying to be compassionate with myself. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But I just wanted to say that because we're talking about this. We're not sitting here on our high little horses trotting along thinking that we've got all this covered. We haven't. We're learning and growing with you guys as well. So I hope that's helped.
Yeah.
Not hopefully the other kind of goal stuff that everyone's like, get up at 5 a.m. and, smash those goals and go to bed at midnight and drink lots of coffee and just make sure that you're smashing these goals. That's not how joy is cultivated at all. So hopefully this is a bit more of a joyful goal setting type approach than everything else that we've done before.
Now, of course, if you really want to deep dive into this stuff, work on it personally with Claire and I, then over the Christmas period, we announced our next reset retreat in Ibiza. So we ran the first one of these, it was October last year, and the feedback from the clients was they loved it. They got incredible results. Their journeys are ongoing. It's a small group. We work with a maximum of 8 clients only. There's Claire and I. It's really
amazing.
In-depth coaching geared towards making actionable change in your life in beautiful surroundings. We're at the Melia Ibiza, right on the coast. There's downtime. We're going to include a spa visit. It's just a great experience. This is going to happen on the first bank holiday in May. So that is May the 1st to 4th. So that's Friday to Monday. So you only need to take the Friday off work to get your flight over. We'll start in the afternoon. We'll run through to Monday morning. And yeah, we would love to see you there. You can find all the details on our website.
We're probably going to have to wrap this up quite quickly because if you can't hear, our dog Lola is barking in the background. But yeah, we'll put the details in the show notes. Keeping it real, by the way. We'll put the details for that retreat in the show notes. But like as James said, it was a new kind of format that we'd run in October, and it was just incredible. So transformative. We're still getting clients saying that they're still using a lot of the tools that we gave them, and yeah, that they're pushing on with their goals and they're feeling a lot more happy and joyful and peaceful, which is what we want.
I want to add, actually, this is not a false moment, but there's only 6 spots left because 2 are already taken. Yep. So if you fancy it, drop us an email. We can have a chat. You just need to put down a deposit at this point in time and we'll collect the main payment.
Yeah. And actually, it's really important to say, if you want to have a chat about it before you go any further, we're around. You can just book a call with us. So just reach out to us on email, team@themidlifementors.com, if you want to have a chat about the retreat in more detail. Hopefully the page gives you everything you need, but if not, just give us a shout. And we're sending you so much love. Happy 2026. You're awesome.
2026.
You're awesome, amazing, and you've got this. Big hugs. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And don't forget to take the Midlife Reset audit now to receive personalised insights into what's holding you back from living your healthiest, happiest midlife. So go ahead and take the audit now at themidlifementors.com/audit.